Hello and welcome in. It's the PHNX Cardinals podcast pregame show edition live from Play Gila at Wild Horse Pass, Gila River Resorts and Casinos. I'm Johnny Venerable, the playmaker. Brittan Golden. Bo Brock is live at State Farm Stadium, going to join us here in just a little bit. We do know now, breaking news, the Arizona Cardinals will choose no worse than 6th overall in the 2024 NFL Draft, but maybe equally as much at stake today. Gannon and company looking for their first NFC West dub of the season against the Seattle Seahawks.
No, it's always good to get a division win, especially when you're sitting in this position you've been all season long. You've been struggling. You finally found some good positive juju the last few weeks in this football team, and you want to see it continue, right? Do we want to see a win? Yes, right? Does it affect your pick in the draft? Yes, but at this point, the way the Cardinals are trending right now, I think you just want to see success, and if you can get a win today, keep it moving.
Draft implications of plenty. We're going to talk about all that and more. Let's quickly jump into the inactives. Should this be a preview of maybe who's in, who's not in? Oh, look at that. A little K1 action. By the way, watch party today here at Gila River Resorts and Casinos Wild Horse Pass every single quarter. At the conclusion of each quarter, we're giving out signed jerseys. Do you like J.J. Watt, Kyler Murray? How about a James Conner? Again, come out, watch party. It's packed. Still time to get here. 21 years and up. Come and partake with us here at Gila River Resorts and Casinos Wild Horse Pass. Let's check out those inactives. Damon Dog behind the mic. Garrett Williams, that's a blow, as is Dante Stills, who was placed on injured reserve just a couple days ago. This is going to be a difficult game for the Arizona Cardinals defensively just because, Brittan, the horses, they're not available. The Cardinals' defensive line has been decimated by injury. They do have Lecky Fotu back in the fold today. I think very similar to the game against the Philadelphia Eagles last week. If the Cardinals are going to win this game, it's going to be behind the arm and the legs of Kyler Murray and James Conner.
Agreed. And we saw the key to success last week. All right, we got the ground game running.
Yep.
I mean, when we talked about last week, James Conner had probably the quietest 120-yard rushing that we've ever seen.
Yeah.
Right? But if you can keep that run game going, I mean, I kind of feel like you have to run the ball today, right? We've got James Conner, who's 110 yards away from 1,000 yards this season, right? Missing 4 games this year. So that's one of those things where I feel like JG, and we talked about it earlier, I feel like JG's going to try to get him the ball early, try to get that moving. But at the same time, you want to see the same thing out of Kyler you saw last week. If you can find ways to get these early completions, move the ball downfield, run time off of this clock, you can put yourself in a position with the same outcome you got last week.
Lots of activity here in the chat. Like this video. Again, subscribe to PHNX Sports here on YouTube. The final regular season game of the 2023-2024 NFL season. But, I mean, the fun's just getting started here at Gila River Resorts and Casinos Wild Horse Pass. And the fun's getting started for the Cardinals this offseason. We are going to have immense clarity as to where the Arizona Cardinals are going to be picking circa the 2024 NFL Draft. We got some bad news last night. C.J. Stroud's been stabbing us in the heart all season long. It has been demoralizing. We are putting that Houston Texans pick on the back burner. Congratulations, Houston Texans. You are now the AFC South champions of the regular season. Mm-hmm. However, Tennessee beating Jacksonville does help the Cardinals because, again, they pick no worse now than 6th overall. The 7th pick, by default, is going to go, I believe, to the Tennessee Titans, so that helps the Cardinals. Another game to keep an eye on. Kansas City at the Los Angeles Chargers today. Chiefs are sitting everybody, so if the Cardinals win and the Chargers win, you're in a position you're not going to be picking any worse than 5th overall. So I think now with some immense clarity, the Cardinals are going to be dabbling now between 2 and 6, but in all actuality, unless the Commanders do something that nobody expects them to do, I think the realization is it's either going to be 4, 5, or 6 picking for the Arizona Cardinals in the first round.
Yeah. I mean, it's like we spoke about. Like, you can't go into this as a player. You know they're not going to this, even with JG as a head coach. Nobody's going in here thinking about draft position right now.
Yeah.
Right, this is the final game of the season. You want to go out on a positive note. right? So they're going to give everything they can to win this football game, which as fans and, how we're covering the game, like, yes, we want to see a high draft pick. We love seeing that, right?
Yeah.
We don't understand what goes on in that locker room outside of that. But, the fact that you're not picking any worse than 6, right? There's a lot of good players in this draft.
Yeah.
Right? And we spoke about it last week. If Marvin Harrison's gone by that time, then it's a shame, but it's how it goes. There's plenty of other people in this draft board. So, I mean, to finish on a strong note and know that you've got a top 6 pick with another first round pick in the way. So, I mean, you're sitting pretty, really.
You are. Cardinals kicking off here in just under 20 minutes. I see Ken echoing a lot of what I saw on Twitter. It's refreshing. Let's get the dub. Let's get JG a division win. Let's get the Cardinals to 500 with Kyler Murray. And that kicks us off here with our Bird Gang Blitz today. Mr. 500, Kyler Murray. If Kyler Murray comes back and wins this game, he will be 4-4 for the Arizona Cardinals since his return from a torn ACL. It's not just the record of 500 and 4-4, BG. It's the fact that Kyler Murray was faced with a new offensive system, coming back from a torn ACL, and not a lot of people know this, the Cardinals faced the hardest strength of schedule once Kyler Murray returned. These final 8 games, I mean, it's playoff team after playoff team. The Pittsburgh Steelers made the playoffs. The Cardinals beat them. The Atlanta Falcons were in the mix. The Cardinals beat them. Philadelphia is going to the playoffs. The Cardinals beat them. And then Seattle. If Seattle can potentially, if the Green Bay Packers lose to the Chicago Bears, Seattle's in with a win. I mean, I think this does immense things for Kyler Murray and JG's confidence, no matter the roster going into next season, knowing that you guys put forth your best effort over these final 8 games.
Agreed. And when you look at the wins that they've had this year, right?
Yeah.
Dallas Cowboys. They're going to get the number 2 seed overall in
Yeah.
the playoffs in the NFC.
Yep.
You beat the Cowboys. Like you said, you beat the Steelers. You beat the Falcons. You beat the Eagles.
Yep.
Just to cap it off with a win over Seattle, I think that does immense things for your confidence, for your team, for your coaching staff, for the upstairs. I mean, I think this is just everything you could possibly want going into the offseason.
Kyler Murray had his best performance of the season last week, 3 touchdowns, just that 1 interception was fantastic. The Cardinals did not punt the football. I think we're going to see an equally dynamic game for the Cardinals, and I think it's in part because of who's going to be running the football today. It's James Conner looking for, BG, his first 1,000-yard rushing season of his career. Let me repeat that. James Conner, multi-time Pro Bowler, has never rushed for 1,000 yards in a season. He missed 4 games this year, and yet he is simply 110-plus rushing yards away from hitting it. I mean, if you don't think that Jonathan Gannon and Drew Petzing, after Gannon almost got emotional at his press conference talking about number 6 today, if you don't think it's going to be a priority for James Conner to get the rock early and often today, especially when you consider the Seattle Seahawks were torched on the ground by Najee Harris and company, this is going to be a big day for number 6, I think.
I agree. I feel like we've talked about it all year, right? The Cardinals do well offensively when James Conner is involved and running the football well. I feel like you've got to start early. You've got to get this moving, find ways to get him the ball early and let him run.
Yeah.
Right? This guy's averaging over 5 yards a carry for the season.
Yep.
Right? And he needs 110. I mean, the last 3 games he's had over 100 almost.
Yeah.
I know he had 120 last week. He had over 100 against the Steelers.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he's running the football efficiently.
Yep.
And like I said, when they run the ball efficiently, they win games or have opportunities to win football games.
Yeah, I think that don't let, and I think anybody's going to do this, but don't let the Cardinals' revived passing attack last week give you any sense that they're not going to go back to the ground game this week. Because I think Seattle's strength defensively is still their back 7 with Devin Witherspoon. They've got a couple nice safeties. Their front 7 has kind of been decimated. And even without DJ Humphries, who's been placed on IR, we hope he's doing well with his recovery from a torn ACL. You played with DJ Humphries for a long time. You've got Kelvin Beachum that steps in now. The Cardinals are going to lean on this run game. 3 yards in a cloud of dust. They want to be able to control the clock, control the line of scrimmage, because as we mentioned, Cardinals defense is decimated. You talk about multiple starters being removed, even from this roster over the last couple of weeks. Seattle, you would assume, is going to be able to do what they want offensively. So the best way to combat that is by controlling the clock, 7, 8, 9-play drives, 9-minute drives. I looked at what Houston did last night when their defense was struggling. They couldn't stop the run. C.J. Stroud and company just moving the chains, little by little, methodical. That's what we need from Kyler Murray and James Conner if they want to get this dub today.
Agreed. And like you said, right, they had a lot of success throwing the football last week. And like you said, they're not going to get away. They're not going to get away from this run game.
Yep.
The NFL is all about complementary football. When you see teams that continuously win, they're successful winning games, you notice the complementary football aspect. The run game is involved just as much as the pass game is. And like you said, you're eating up clock. Right? You're getting first downs. You're running 5, 7, 8, 5, 6, 7, 8 minute drives, and you're taking time off the clock. You're controlling the clock. We saw that last week. The Cardinals had 40 minutes of the entire game of clock.
Yep.
Right? They controlled the ball the entire game, which in turn they controlled the game.
That's right.
So I think they continue doing that this week and give themselves, like I said, the best opportunity to walk out of here and get JG his first divisional win.
Well, speaking of that, that's the last point of discussion here on the Pregame Blitz PHNX Cardinals pregame show. What can we do to cure these NFC West woes? As much as I am clamoring on about this team potentially going to the playoffs next year, can they be taken seriously as a playoff contender in the NFC by going 0-6 in the NFC West? I think they can, even if they lose today's game. But, man, BG, talk to us about the importance of these division games, because now you're looking at, if the Bears win and the Seahawks win, every member of the NFC West is going to be represented in the NFC playoffs except for the Cardinals. Like, we can go on and on about big upsets, beating Philadelphia, beating the Steelers, right? Looking good, beating the Cowboys. But until you're a contender in your own division, until you can push around Pete Carroll and Kyle Shanahan and Sean McVay, you're going to have doubters, and rightfully so. And the Cardinals are rebuilding this year. They didn't have Kyler Murray for most of the season. I just think it would be such a fitting end to what has been a nice second half of football here in 2023, 2024 for Kyler Murray and Jonathan Gannon to go out and say, you know what, Seattle, we've got deficiencies, but we have the plus quarterback, and you don't. Kyler Murray is unequivocally better than Geno Smith.
No, and I agree. The NFC West is not an easy division to win games in.
No.
It never has been. Right, with San Francisco, Seattle, the Rams, and the Cardinals, even when back in the day I was playing, like, it was a very tough division to play in. So to say you're getting wins in this division, like you said, there's a potential. We have 3 teams in this division go to the playoffs this year.
Yeah.
And the only team that doesn't is a Cardinals team that didn't have their starting quarterback for the first 10 weeks of the season.
Yeah.
Right? And you, like you said, you've been decimated defensively. You've been decimated offensively. Mm-hmm. It's just nothing has gone right for you this year. So for them to, even if they lose this game, like you said, I think that there's still a potential for them to go in. Like, just look at the Houston Texans.
Yep.
We watched them play absolutely horrendous football last year.
Yeah.
And they backdoor it with a rookie head coach and a rookie quarterback, and they have 10 wins and are in the playoffs. It's doable.
It is.
And the Cardinals have the players in place right now, right? Yes, you need to go out. Yes, you need to get defensive linemen, defensive backs, receivers, offensive linemen. There's a lot of stuff you need to get in this offseason. But you've got a franchise quarterback in place. You've got 2 franchise safeties back there ready to play. You've got players that are in position to help you win this game now, or to help you win, in this division. I think next year, if, trust in Monty and JG going forward, I think they do the same thing they did this year draft-wise and just getting guys that can come in and help, immediately. And you're looking at a team that's in playoff contention in 2024.
I absolutely couldn't agree more. Can't agree with this man anymore. Live from State Farm Stadium, co-host of PHNX Cardinals, Mr. Bo Brock, joining us now 10 minutes ahead of kickoff. Now, you texted me, Bo, said the parking lot was a little sparse today. I'm hoping that's in relation to Seahawk fans. Can you give me a ratio, Cards to Seattle Seahawk fans at State Farm Stadium today?
I was just having a tough time finding cars to pavement to parking spots. It was just very sparse out there. Just not a whole lot of people in general. It's not like what Brittan took in a couple of weeks ago in Charlotte at the Carolina Panthers game. But, they're just, you still see a lot of the insufferable 12s out there and the stupid, fan number 12, which is such a
that horrible Seahawks chant.
So bad, right? But it's filling up here. They got the pregame vibes going, so it's a little bit better. But, of course, hoping by this time next year, the Red Sea is in full effect.
Red Sea's got a chance to bounce back in a big way, just like Kyler Murray bounced back in a big way. Bo, we just got done talking about it. We've got the Patriots laying an egg today. If the Commanders somehow beat the Cowboys, Cardinals are picking 3rd overall, but it's looking more and more like the sweet spot for the Cardinals pick is going to be anywhere between 4 and now 6, with Tennessee upsetting the Jaguars. What do you think it would mean for Kyler Murray and the momentum into this offseason for the Cardinals to go 500 against a bunch of playoff teams in Kyler Murray's 8 games played this year?
Jonathan Gannon talked about momentum this week and said he doesn't really believe in it, but he does believe in confidence, right? And that's a confidence builder. It does take you pretty significantly out of the Marvin Harrison Jr. range, and that's a bit of a tough pill to swallow. But I think if anything, Monty Ossenfort's shown you the ability to find talent wherever the Arizona Cardinals are selecting in the NFL draft. And I mean, we're not talking, you're falling out of the top 10. We're talking about you're going to be probably a top 5 selecting team, which, man, last time the Cardinals, they picked 5th overall? They got a pretty good cornerback in the name of Patrick Peterson. They're going to be in a prime position, especially with the run on quarterbacks that's going to go early, to get a non-quarterback top position player in this draft. Totally agree, BG. You think about the 2 tackles that are going to be available. We've got Roma Dunze. We've got Malik Napers out of course, LSU. The Cardinals have options. You all have options right now to go to the BetMGM Sportsbook app. It's tap that app today with our friends at BetMGM. These are Johnny's picks. One last time. Let's bring it home with a W. Multiple, in fact. I like the over in this game. -110. I think 48, if you can grab it. When it's sub 50, get it. I think this is going to be very similar to what we saw last week against Seattle. Points aplenty. This might hit in the third quarter. I'll select the Cardinals +3. I don't know if the Cardinals are going to win this game. I don't think it's going to be a blowout. I think the Cardinals are going to be within 3 most of this game, BG. I think this is a 1-possession game into the fourth quarter. And then how about a dabble? Multi-touchdown for your boys on the ground. I think James Conner, Kyler Murray, parlay them together with our friends at BetMGM, +475. Just feel like K1's got one more end zone scoot in his wheelhouse. And, of course, James Conner, anytime touchdowns, they're easy money these days. So these are Johnny's picks. One last time here. BetMGM, PHNX Cardinals pregame show. Your thoughts?
I'm not mad at any of them.
Okay, you like them?
I like them. I like the over for sure. I mean, based on what we saw last week offensively, if the Cardinals can come back out here and control the clock, they'll be in position to put 20-plus points back on the board. And, the Seahawks are probably going to put points on the board. I mean, God, you'd love to see no points put on the board by the Seahawks. But, I think the over looks good. I've already gone with the James Conner touchdown. And I have James Conner and Trey McBride to score a touchdown. Wow. So,
everybody loves a shootout. Everybody loved the shootout last week. Let's keep it going here. The vibes at State Farm Stadium immaculate. Let's get to the Super Chat. Sean Marks, MVP of the show, is Johnny's Jacket. Thank you so much. Agreed. Fresh. Thank you for making another Cardinals season bearable, PHNX. Let's beat the Seahawks. Thank you, Sean. Greatly appreciate it. Greatly appreciate your support. Appreciate everybody's support. We've had a fun year. The party doesn't stop. We're going into this offseason full steam ahead. Let's get to prediction time. BG, Bo and I picked on Friday's show, narrow loss for the Arizona Cardinals. Now, I'll reserve Bo here in a second. Maybe he's changed his mind. What are your thoughts? Are the Cardinals getting their 4th win out of 8 games with Kyler Murray today?
I'm going with the Cardinals. Okay. I don't like to see chickens.
No.
Period. I love playing out there, but I don't like them. I love to see them lose. So we're going to go to Cardinals today. I think we scored 20-plus points. I think they put 24 points on the board, and I think the Seahawks put 17 on the board. I'm going with the Cardinals W today.
Bo, what about you? Have you revised your narrow loss from Friday's show?
Let me first pay my respect to Johnny's picks this season. Such a great job pregame with the selections, finding the smart bets for this Cardinals team. But I'm going to stick with my selection. I think, unless somehow Justin Fields and the Bears are putting up some big numbers on the out-of-town scoreboard here at State Farm Stadium against the Packers, I think that the Arizona Cardinals are going to get in a shootout. I'm hoping to see this offense stay hot, but I still do believe in the edge compared to last week with the opposing team's coach, where Pete Carroll and his offensive coordinator are not going to let this offense take their foot off the gas, and they'll impose their will on this defensive line that's down tremendous, guys. And I think that they'll be able to do it with number 9, Kenneth Walker, and that stout run game, and be able to just kind of sneak out of here with a dub. But it's going to be hard fought, and I think we'll still see some real positive things from this Cardinals offense, Kyler Murray, against this pretty poo-poo pedestrian Seahawks defense.
Now that the Patriots have officially laid an egg for the last time, I can
losers.
Yes, I can bet and I can discuss today's matchup with my heart instead of my head, because on Friday I was very much of the mindset, I don't know if the Cardinals have the horses. They don't, frankly, to hang with DK Metcalf and Tyler Lockett and Jimba. He's fantastic, the rookie. But I think Kyler Murray is going to do it again today. I think the Cardinals are going to win this game. I think it's going to be a narrow, maybe a Matt Prater last-second field goal. And I think it means more to the Cardinals, frankly. And give me Kyler Murray over Geno Smith 9 times out of 10, 10 times out of 10. I like the Cardinals to get this dub, and whether it moves them from 4 to 5 to 6, I think we're at the point now, assuming the Commanders lay another egg against the Dallas Cowboys like they're always known to do. I think this means more in terms of a win-loss than a draft position. It's crazy to be discussing this now. Bo and I were very much in the camp of, yeah, they're probably going to lose these last 2 games too. If they win both these last 2 games, you got to give immense credit to Gannon and company for keeping the composure in all what is a lost season.
Yeah, I mean, 4-4 with a franchise quarterback with this roster. I mean, that's impressive. You can dress it up. You say that you're putting the lipstick on a pig of a season, but man, I don't think you could deny that Kyler Murray came back elevated, and they put him in a position to win some football games that they had no business winning.
You can't deny the vibes here at Gila River Resorts and Casinos Wild Horse Pass. They're immaculate. Come out. Still time. Watch party. We are giving away signed jerseys, plural on the jerseys, for every single quarter of play here. 21 and up. Come hang out right behind us. They've got immaculate vibes, food. Make your bets. You can do
17 of them over here.
Oh, my goodness. Dishing out, on average, do my math, at least 4 per quarter. You got a great chance to come out, enjoy some fabulous food, watch the Cardinals, hopefully kick some Seahawk ass, and take home a signed, authentic Arizona Cardinal jersey. We're having a great time. Join us for the halftime show. Myself, BG, for Bo Brock at State Farm Stadium. I'm Johnny Venerable. We'll see you at the half.
We all silly like the mayor.